Welcome back, friends, to another episode of Witchy Ways for Modern Days. My name is Brittany, I am your host, and today we are going to dive into a requested topic for the Astrology series. One that, frankly, I can't believe I didn't think of doing myself. So I'm judging myself a little bit for that. But today we are going to delve into the topic of cusps. Now, if you have spent pretty much any amount of time in astrology groups, TikTok, astrology Facebook, Reddits, or just talking to literally anyone who knows their birthday, you have probably heard someone say at some point, well, I'm a cusper. I'm an Aries-Taurus cusp, or I'm a Cancer-Leo cusp. I'm two signs. And I can completely understand why people say that and where they are coming from. Because there are certain people who absolutely swear up and down that they feel like both of those signs. They read one description and only half of it fits for their sun. And then they read the neighboring sign and suddenly they see themselves there as well. And so today I want to talk about what's actually happening here, because this is one of those places within astrology where it tends to get a little more nuanced than a simple yes or no answer. And I feel like I can speak on this a little bit more clearly than maybe some people who might, because I am technically a cusper, and I do agree with this aspect to a certain extent. All right, so technically speaking, we all know your sun sign is your sun sign. If your sun sign says it's in Taurus, you're a Taurus. If your sun is within Gemini, you are a Gemini. There is no official astrological placement that is called a cusp sign. And before you throw anyone's astrology app at me, just stay with the concept for a moment. Because just because cusps aren't technically their own sign doesn't mean that people are imagining things. It actually is far from it. What many people call cusp energy is often the experience of being born near a transition point between two archetypes. And I think the best way to describe this metaphorically is to think about nature for a moment. Winter doesn't wake up one morning and then suddenly it becomes spring, right? Summer does not instantly become autumn. There is always a transition. There's always a doorway. There is a zodiac threshold, a liminal space where one season is ending and another is beginning. And astrology mirrors that. It does. Every part of the signs is a part of a larger cycle. So every zodiac season carries a distinct energetic signature. And when you are born, either near the end or at the beginning of a sign, you are arriving during the transitional phase. So generally speaking, people born about 2 to 3 days before or after a sign change are what most people will consider cuspers. The strongest cusp energy is usually felt within about 48 hours of a sign transition. And I want you to remember, these are dates that are approximations. The sun changes signs at slightly different times each year, which is why running your actual birth chart is always the most accurate way to know your placements. But let's walk through each of these zodiac doorways. Even if you are not a cusper, technically, I guarantee you know someone who is. And so the idea of the transitionary placements might just ring a bell for you in regards to those people. So let's pull up our birth charts together if we don't already have them up, just to verify whether or not we fall into these cusp transitions. But I will mention the approximate dates as we go through this episode. So if you don't have your birth chart open, it's no big deal. You know the day you were born. Now let's get into it. So we're going to start with the Pisces-Aries cusp. I like to call this one the cusp of rebirth energy. So approximately this is a cusp that occurs between March the 19th and March the 22nd. So we're starting at technically the end of the zodiac cycle, but also at the beginning, right? So Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac, and Aries, of course, is the first. Pisces is a sign that can represent endings, intuition, dreams, spiritual wisdom. Aries tends to represent beginnings, action, self-discovery. People that are born near this transition will often feel like they are constantly reinventing themselves as they go through life. There's frequently a fascinating blend of bravery and sensitivity. These are often the dreamers who eventually become doers, mystics who actually take action on what they intuitively get. And spiritually, this cusp often feels like you have one foot in another world and one foot charging into this one. Now, after that is the Aries-Taurus cusp, and we're going to call this one the cusp of power. Approximately, this is one that occurs between April the 18th and April the 21st. Aries, of course, starts energy. Taurus is known to sustain energy. Aries rushes, Taurus settles. People that are born near this particular doorway will often possess both initiative and endurance. They tend to be more patient than the typical Aries, but they also tend to be more proactive than the typical Taurus, right? So they're not as, fiery, headstrong, but they're also not as lazy as the typical Taurus, just saying. This is an energy that will frequently create entrepreneurs or builders or creators, people who don't just dream about their goals, they accomplish their goals. And the challenge for these people will be always in knowing when to push forward and when to slow down in life. Then we've got the Taurus-Gemini cuspers, and this we're going to call the cusp of energy. Approximately this happens between May the 19th and May the 22nd. So Taurus seeks stability. It wants roots. Gemini is a sign that always seeks movement. It's very airy. It wants wings to fly. People born near this transition will often possess this very beautiful combination of practicality and curiosity. So they are often much more talkative than typical Taurus, but they are more grounded than your average Gemini. These are individuals that frequently you can call like lifelong learners who can communicate complex ideas while still keeping one foot firmly planted in reality. It's like a stable Gemini feeling is what this is. Now, then we have the Gemini-Cancer cusp. This is the cusp of magic. Now, this happens approximately between the dates of June 20th through the 23rd. Gemini, being the air sign it is a thinker. Cancer, being the water sign, feels. Gemini gathers information, Cancer gathers emotion. So people born here will often possess this extraordinary ability to communicate their intuition and their feelings and emotional experiences. These are our storytellers. They are often psychics, counselors, writers, people who are able to naturally bridge intellect and intuition. And I do believe that this is one of the most emotionally intelligent cusps within the zodiac, because you have this very emotional, nurturing energy in the Cancer, but that very prominent thinking Gemini energy is leading the show. It's very curious. All right, let's take a quick pause because if you are listening to this podcast, chances are your magic deserves tools that actually meet you where you are. If you aren't already aware, I am part owner of Winslow Naturals, a small, family-owned metaphysical shop creating handcrafted ritual oils, candles, sprays, soaks, and spiritual tools, each one made with intention, experience, and deep respect for the craft. These aren't mass-produced products. Every one of our blends is thoughtfully formulated for real-life magic, whether you're working with deities, doing shadow work, calling in abundance, or just protecting your peace in this chaotic world. I also offer personal tarot readings, aura readings, spirit guide confirmations, distance Reiki, and chakra healing sessions for those of you looking for deeper insight, energetic support, and one-on-one spiritual care. If you're ready to elevate your practice with tools, readings, and healing work from people who truly understand the craft, visit Winslow Naturals at winslownaturals.com or find us on TikTok where we go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And if it's your first time ordering, you can use code Witchy Ways to get 10% off your first website order. Because your magic deserves to be supported intentionally, ethically, and powerfully. Then we've got the Cancer-Leo cusp. This is the cusp of oscillation. All right, so this is my cusp, just so we're clear. It approximately happens between July the 21st and July the 24th. Cancer, again, very nurturing sign. Leo shines as a sign. Cancer is an energy that asks us how we care for other people, while Leo tends to ask how we express ourselves. Those are very different questions. So people born near this transition will often spend years of their lives trying to learn how to balance between those two very different desires. They might be natural caretakers who secretly long to be seen, kind of wallflower-esque. They often will possess creativity, emotional depth. They can be very, very warm. They can be generous. These are often the people who will make everyone around them feel loved, cared for, while simultaneously somehow becoming the center of attention without trying to become the center of attention. Yeah. Not always been proud of that one. Then we've got the cusp of exposure, and that's the next one. It's the Leo-Virgo cusp. This happens between August the 21st and August the 24th. Leo is a sign of creation and expression, and Virgo is perfection and refinement. People born near this zodiac doorway will often possess both artistic gifts and remarkable attention to detail. These are frequently performers, perfectionists, artists, people who generally are very caring about the quality of what they are creating. So they care about their work. The lesson for them tends to be in learning that perfection isn't required before you share your gifts with the world. Then the Virgo-Libra cusp. This is the cusp of beauty. So cusp of beauty is September the 21st through the 24th. Virgo is a sign that is constantly trying to improve. Libra is a sign constantly seeking to harmonize. And together they create people who understand both beauty and function. So these are individuals that often have a natural eye for balance. They could be very naturally drawn to healing, design, art, counseling, any sort of field where they can create order and harmony. They are often more socially aware than your average Virgo, but they are more practical than your average Libra. So it's a very interesting balance. Then we got the Libra-Scorpio cusp. This happens October 21st through the 24th. I mean this lovingly. This is the cusp of drama. Libra is a sign that seeks peace, and Scorpio seeks truth. And unfortunately for this cusp, truth can't and isn't always a peaceful thing. So people born in this transitionary period will often possess a very interesting combination of charm and intensity. They can read rooms with remarkable accuracy while also sensing deeper emotional undercurrents that other people might miss. Relationships for them, of course, tend to be quite transformative experiences rather than anything casual. Everything matters to this person. Everything means something. Everything is deeper than it appears. It doesn't settle for anything surface. The Scorpio-Sagittarius cusp. These are some strong people. This is the revolutionary cusp. Approximately happens between November the 20th through the 23rd. Because Scorpio is an investigator and Sagittarius is an explorer, as a combination, it is an energy that creates relentless truth seekers. These are the people who never stop asking questions. These are the philosophers, the spiritual seekers, the occult researchers, people who accidentally, frequently, fall down 6-hour rabbit holes while they research mythology just because they suddenly need to know where a symbol originated. These are people who just delve into information. You will find many witches, mystics, spiritual teachers in this energy. Then the next one is Sagittarius, the Sagittarius Capricorn cusp. This is the cusp of prophecy. And approximately this is between the 20th of December and the 23rd. Sagittarius is a dreamer that seeks and sees possibility. Capricorn is a builder, creates structure. And this is one of the most powerful combination zodiac placements for manifestation because it's combining vision with discipline. These are individuals that will often have enormous goals, but they have the patience that's required to actually achieve them. These are big dreamers. These are strategic planners, visionaries with actual proper planning and calendars. The Capricorn Aquarius cusp. Some people call this the cusp of innovation. It will happen between January the 19th through January the 22nd. Capricorn understands systems. Aquarius is known to reinvent them. So people born near this transition will often possess a unique ability to see both tradition and progress at the same time. So these are typically people who are natural born leaders. They can be innovators, reformers, people who understand what works, but aren't afraid to improve on it. They are not the, well, if it's not broken, don't fix it. That's not this person. They're more of, well, it's not broken, but we could still make it better type person. And this is one that will often excel at creating meaningful change. Then we have the Aquarius Pisces cusp, the cusp of vision. This is February the 18th through the 21st. Aquarius sees the future while Pisces sees the unseen. Together, they create visionaries. There's often a deeply intuitive quality here that's mixed with spiritual sensitivity, imagination, creativity. These are individuals that will frequently seem ahead of their time. Artists, dreamers, mystics. These are people that will often show up near this astrological doorway. And the challenge is grounding their visions into reality instead of leaving them only as possibilities. So I hope that kind of cleared up what a cusper is, some date confusion, and give you a brief overview of what those cusps actually mean. Before I wrap it up properly, I do want to leave you with an important thought on this topic. Please don't use cusp energy as a reason to dismiss your actual sun sign, because I see people do this all the time. They'll say, I'm technically a Virgo, but I don't really like the Virgo description, so I'm just going to claim I'm a Leo. I'm a cusper anyway. Sweetie, astrology isn't asking you to choose your favorite sign. It's asking you to understand your chart. The reason you feel like both signs, for the most part, might not actually be your sun at all. Maybe your Mercury is the neighboring sign, maybe your Venus, your moon, your rising, maybe your chart ruler is in that sign that is close to your cusp. And that's influencing the energy. So the deeper you go into your astrology, the more you will realize no single placement tells this story entirely. Does it help you to understand a little bit more that transitionary period? Sure. I hope it does. It should. But don't weigh as heavily on that as you should the entirety of your chart and the placements. Don't hang your hat on those two signs alone. Because you're not a stereotype, you're not a label, you're not a cusper entirely. That's not the only thing that you are. You're not just a sun sign or two sun signs. You are an entire birth chart, an entire story. And sometimes, I agree, one of the most fascinating parts of that story will happen at the doorway between one chapter of a sign and the next chapter. So I think the next episode we do on astrology will likely be diving into the retrogrades, unless you guys have a better suggestion. Until that time, I would like you to stay curious. Keep exploring the story within your chart, within your stars. I hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, my friends. Blessed be.